Hello, everyone. This is question 38 of our 100 clinically oriented anatomy questions. Sorry, they just took the lights. I had to record this way. I mean, you guys can bear with me. Thank you. So, this is question 38 of our 100 clinically oriented anatomy questions. So let's get straight into it. The question says a 23-year-old male is admitted to the emergency department with pain and cyanosis of his right lower limb. Doppler ultrasound studies reveals deficiency in development of his femoral artery, which appears to terminate mid-thigh. Thrombotic occlusion is seen in an unusual, rather tortuous large vessel in the posterior compartment of the thigh, arising in the gluteal area and continues inferiorly with a normal appearing popliteal artery. It is decided that a vascular graft should be placed from the femoral artery to the popliteal artery. What is the identity of the aberrant artery? A large fifth perforating branch of the femoral artery, an ischiatic branch of the inferior gluteal artery, descending branch of the medial circumflex femoral artery, descending branch of the superior gluteal artery, an enlarged descending lateral circumflex femoral artery. So this question is kind of much. It's a bit much, trust me. But I've underlined the important things that we need to focus on, which are there's a deficiency in development of his femoral artery. That's the first one. Another thing is that there's now a thrombotic occlusion that is seen in another artery. Now this artery arises from the gluteal area, continues inferiorly with a normal appearing popliteal artery, right? So now they now say they should do a vascular graft from the femoral artery to that popliteal artery. What is the identity of the aberrant artery? Now there is a particular condition that is called the hypoplastic development of the femoral artery, right? So hypoplastic development of the femoral artery, basically that's what it is. So now in hypoplastic development of the femoral artery, you have a particular artery that serves the function of the femoral artery, basically, and that artery is actually called the axial artery of the lower limb. And then the axial artery of the lower limb is actually from the broad light. Thank goodness. So let's continue. Like I was saying, in hypoplastic development of the femoral artery, there is a particular artery that takes up the function of the femoral artery, and this artery is regarded as the axial artery of the lower limb. Now, the axial artery of the lower limb is actually the artery that was affected in this case. So, the axial artery of the lower limb is the ischiatic branch of the inferior gluteal artery. So, yeah, that is just the axial artery of the lower limb. It's actually a branch of the inferior gluteal artery. Oh, they took the light again. Sorry about that. So let's move on. So like I was saying, the artery that takes up the function of the femoral artery in the hypoplastic development of the femoral artery is a branch of the inferior gluteal artery, which is called the ischiatic branch of the inferior gluteal artery, and that is option B. So the correct answer is option B, because it was actually this artery that was affected. They said a thrombotic occlusion, that is the blockade of that artery, is seen in basically in that artery, and it arises from the gluteal area, continues inferiorly with the popliteal artery. So yeah, and of course it serves the function of the femoral artery, that is, it supplies the thigh, gives vascular supply to the thigh in case where femoral artery was not properly developed in the person. So let's go through the other options and check them one after the other. Option A large fifth perforating branch of the femoral artery. So there is actually no fifth perforating branch of the femoral artery. That's wrong. The profunda femoris artery gives off 3 perforating branches, and the terminal portion acts as the fourth, or the terminal portion of the profunda femoris acts as the fourth perforating artery. So there is no fifth perforating branch of the femoral artery. Option A is wrong. Option C, descending branch of the medial circumflex femoral artery. The descending branch of the medial circumflex femoral artery anastomoses with the ascending branch of the first perforating artery, and that is not the case here. Descending branch of the superior gluteal artery. Descending branch of the superior gluteal artery takes part in the formation of the trochanteric anastomosis, and that is not what we are considering here. So trochanteric anastomosis around the trochanter of the femur, basically. So an enlarged descending lateral circumflex femoral artery. The descending lateral circumflex femoral artery anastomoses with the superior lateral genicular artery at the knee joints, basically. it takes part in the formation of the periarticular, genicular, and anastomosis. So I want to believe you understand this. Let me go over the question one after. Let me go over the question again. It says there is a deficiency development of there's a deficiency in the development of the femoral artery. That is, the patient had as an hypoplastic development of the femoral artery. And I mentioned that in hypoplastic development of the femoral artery, the ischiatic branch of the inferior gluteal artery takes up the function of the femoral artery in that case. That is, it serves as the major blood supply to the lower limb. Sorry, to the thigh, basically, to the thigh. So that is basically what happens. And of course, they said that artery um that is serving as the major blood supply to the thigh now is now occluded, basically. So the artery, of course, the inferior gluteal artery arises in the gluteal area. It passes below the piriformis at the greater sciatic foramen, and it descends inferiorly with the popliteal artery, basically. So that is the ischiatic branch of the femoral artery, and that is the artery that was affected in this case. So yeah, that is the correct answer to the question. I believe you understand, and I believe you understand why the other options are wrong and why that is the correct answer. So sorry for the unstable lights. I'm in Nigeria. It's not my fault. Let's take it like that. But I hope you understand and you enjoy the video. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.